Awesome.
Yes, thanks for joining us, joining the stream. Let me just make sure that all of our socials are live. There we go. We are live. Hey, Dom.
Hey,
Hello, hello.
just getting my second cup of coffee.
There we go. There we go. I don't think on a day like today you need any extra coffee, Dom.
You would be surprised at how much coffee I need.
What's happening right now is the coffee, right?
Listen,
Maybe last night you would have, like, Sean, did you get any sleep the last week? Like, how?
Enough. I'm looking forward to getting some good rest this weekend, though.
That's right. So let's actually check in on Matt to make sure he's also joining. And we'll give it maybe a minute or two for us to gather. For everybody else who's joining us, hello, hello.
let me get in that chat. Hold on.
There we go. Is there YouTube live? Yeah, YouTube's live. Awesome. I see a few folks. I see Mike. Hey, Mike. Dropping us a chat coffee emoji. Do you know where you can see, Dom, you know where you can see the public chat, right?
I'm in there every time, KP.
Nice.
You know this.
All right, Connor's here. Hey, Connor. Awesome. Sean, so yeah, Connor just dropped a pretty cool tutorial building a tool, building like an app using Swarm and using stuff with AI. So I'll share the link later. I think I did in one of our Slack channels.
I saw the hype socials on it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I haven't got to see it yet. I did see the hype.
Yes. Awesome. Hey, Matt. Welcome.
Hey.
Going well. We didn't think we were gonna, just kidding. We knew you were gonna join. We knew you were gonna join. You wouldn't miss this for anything, would you?
Of course not.
Okay, so super excited. I think we have everybody we need for us to get going. Just wanted to welcome everyone tuning in from all the social channels. We have, the stream live on X. We have this live on YouTube. And I know some of our Netlify folk is probably watching and trying to, drop some emojis and drop some hype in the chat. So please do that. And Dom has put a bet that if Garrick doesn't join,
Garrick better be in this chat. Garrick,
right.
I told you I would call you out at the beginning of the stream. Garrick, here you are. Here's your call out. We need you.
We need you to reply. Drop an emoji, Garrick, if you're in there. But what's disappointing to me is the fact that Riverside doesn't let you, or at least I haven't figured out how to put the banner, like the background that was designed. And man, that would have been great if we all had this amazing strawberry Swar banner.
I just don't want to get chased down by Lucasfilms. That's the only way.
Right.
Disney's gonna get you.
They will. They listen. They will.
They'll send us. Yeah, they'll send it. We can vibe code probably a response to that right away. Just in case. Anyway, welcome everybody. I'm KP and I'm head of community at Netlify. You've seen me on the stream before. Dom's joining us again. Dom, why won't you leave me alone? Just kidding. Dom's here.
I wanted to test your metal. I wanted to see what a solo stream looked like.
Yes,
and
but he never did that. And so now we are here with Dom again. Joining us with the power generator. Hopefully,
we're back on. We're actually back on.
Awesome.
Thankfully.
Awesome. And today, this is the recurring series we started way back when, I forgot, but it's called the Community Drop, right? This is where we talk about our latest releases, the latest, capabilities that we added to Netlify, how we're expanding the platform, all the fun stuff, all the cool things our team has been cooking over the last few weeks. And today, especially, I am super, super, super stoked. Because this is a feature that's been in the making, and it's been the the ask of the community. It's been such a big request from everyone, and I'm so happy today we're gonna do the final unveil. If you're following us on X and blog posts and so on, SWAR as we internally call it, which is not the public word, but all with AI is ready. But we're gonna get Sean and Matt to talk about it. And Sean joining us. Hey, Sean, he's our VP of AI. First time on the community drop stream, but definitely won't be the last. And Matt, of course, Matt is the OG.
Matt's a constant here. Yeah, I feel like he's actually just a co-host at this point.
Exactly. He's like an honorary co-host at this point.
I think he might be.
Right. Awesome. So I have the opening question, which is, for anyone who's just tuning in and maybe they didn't see the tweet, they didn't see the post. Sean, why don't you, in your words, right, share what just went live today in Netlify and what about it makes you the most excited?
Yeah, so we released this feature today. We call it, start with agent runners. Generally speaking, it's just your ability to go from idea or prompt to a production project, right? And that's it. What we found is when people come to Netlify, they've always brought projects that they've handcrafted and are ready to really bring to the world. And now we're just seeing this giant need for people who want to start on Netlify, scaffold a new project, create something for me, get me started, and then I want to iterate. And now, for the first time, Netlify has that creator experience, and not just some throwing an AI chat at creating some new site. The team is very well thought through this experience, this end-to-end flow, how you go from idea to production, and then how you can continue iterating on it after that. So it's a really great experience. If you're a new user signing up, you'll immediately go into that flow. And if you're an existing user, if you go and press that start new project button, you go straight into it. And yeah, just go try it out. It's really cool.
Just go try it out. And it's also directly available at netlify.new. So that's another entry point that, anyone can experience this new flow. And Sean, I gotta say, as you know, like as a vibe coder, I've been like begging for this specific feature. And I know many of our friends and users have said this to you. I'm loving it, and I'm so grateful that I got early.
I've been there for the begging.
You've been there, yes. And the funny thing is, even some of the developers too, like the folks who are like who swear by Git, who swear by local, local deployment.
Clark, we're looking at you, Clark.
Yes, they're like, because Clark Wimberly, some of you have seen him on the streams. He's such a power user for agent runners. And he lives and breathes through agent runners. And he was like, KP, just give me that button, man. Like, just let me just start from there. And so
he's our prime mobile AI user. Like that guy has convinced me to pull my phone out on more occasions to get projects done than not.
Which I think is going to be the norm, right? Everyone's going to be at the dentist. Everyone's going to be like, Sean's got kids. He's got to take them to the school. Like, everyone's got like this on the go mode now. Mm-hmm. And I think we're adapting to that reality. So I'm really happy. Matt, I got a question for you.
Nicky T.
How does today's massive announcement align with the original vision you laid out, years ago, but also you've kept reinforcing that over and over again about the open web and just letting more people to come to web, and also your recent post, right? I know you're so, it's one of my favorite posts that you made. You're so passionate about it, which is expanding the TAM for Netlify, helping more people build for Netlify. So how does this align with that?
I mean, this is a really important step for Netlify, right? Like it's a small component in our UI, but a big step for our whole app, as as you could say, right? Like in the sense that all of our product is still the same, right? Like anywhere you can go, you can deploy from CLI, you can import repos. The whole workflow works as it's always done. But once you click start a new project, you have this prompt box now that was never there before. And that's not just a small detail, it's a really big deal, because you could never, like, Netlify was always a place you came to with something you had built somewhere else, right? Like, and in our first decade, right, like, this was based on a motion where developers were always the ones that would create new developer projects, first of all. And typically developers would create those projects on their laptop just in general, right? Like you would not, like, do not as a developer go anywhere and spin up a new project somewhere else and then down, like that was just not how it worked, right? Like, so we really thought about like, how does front-end developers work? How do we meet them where they are? And how do we then just take all of the friction out of getting the stuff they're working on onto a URL? And now a lot of things have really changed. First of all, like the definition of a developer is like vastly changing, right? Like we see, like at Netlify, guess who is the person at Netlify who spends the most credits on agent runners in the last last month?
I know.
I don't know.
I
Who
wish
is
I
it?
knew. I feel like it's going to be like sales or support. No.
It's our CFO.
Wow.
Right? Like, our CFO is right now our top agent runner developer, right?
Shout
like
out,
he's
Ian.
building a whole bunch of finance tooling, like deep dashboards and so on, right? Like
So
HR
are you-
has built his stuff, right? Like lots of our developers, like we're using it. I'm using it. Sean is using it, right? Like, but it's just interesting. This definition of like who builds software is really changing, right? Like, but also it's not just changing for our CFO and for people that are new to development. It's also changing for all existing developers, right? Like, Sean, how much code did you write by hand in the last month, would you say?
I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 lines.
Right.
I wrote the prompts real good.
Sean is one of our most senior developers, right? Like on the whole team, traditional,
our
right?
company
Like,
page. I wrote the prompts real good.
right? Like, so this change in the world is it's not happening just to our CFO. It's also happening to all of our developers, right? Like it's happening across the field. And one of the things that happens is that, like, what happens to starting a new project in general, whoever you are in this new developer world, right? Like, obviously, the new people that are coming into this, it's like they are only coming in because they can start it with a prompt, and they start that in all kinds of places, and then comes to us. It's totally natural that they should also be able to just give that prompt to us and have like us spin up a coding agent and go do it, right? Like, but even traditional developers, right? Like, I would no longer, as a traditional developer, start a new project by like by starting like looking for some front-end framework, like going to 10stack, start and being let me manually run through the npx commands to set up a new I just want a tool to do that for me now, right? Like, I want an agent to do that for me. Maybe I would do it locally with Cloud Code, right? Like, hey, Cloud Code, start me a new project here. I would install some skills and so on, right? Like, and that's basically what we now build into our onboarding flow, right? Like, you just prompt and say, start me this new project. We will spin up by default a 10stack start project with all the right skills and all the right setup, so you know that it's like well architected for like Cloud Code or Codex CLI or any of these to work on, right? Like, that's now what I actually would want as a traditional like deep technical developer, right? Like, I don't want to do that step myself, right? Like,
I used to spend so much time like crafting what I wanted to start from as like my own template, because you would also see templates on the market and like those were good. Like, they got you to a good starting place. So like these frameworks would work on them and you'd be like, okay, well, I can start from here, but you're deleting out all the scaffolding, you're deleting out all the BS, putting in what you want. Like, this is such a better starting point than we've had up to this point.
And that's why it fits so well in our vision, right? Like, because it's now actually like the same logical starting point for this whole new audience of a much broader set of developers, right? Like, and we really think that we can make this like an extremely frictionless way to spin up new projects, no matter who you are, right? Like, and then it's also a big change for Netlify, right? Because it seems like a subtle box, but like something changes here, right? Like, normally we were a place where you deployed code that lived somewhere else too, right? Like, the moment you start here now until you push that code somewhere else, right? Like, you can push from Netlify to GitHub now, right? Like, that's in itself a pretty new thing. Like, before you could link your GitHub repo to Netlify and we start building it. Now you can start here and you can hit a button to like push my code to GitHub. And then you get that sync flow or something, right? Like, you can download the code
reverse
locally.
handoff. Like, wait, I'm supposed to be giving you this.
It's completely different, right? Like, and suddenly we had to build some pretty complex things, right? Like, because a lot of our workflow is based around like what developers have learned over the last decades, right? Like, we want to work in branches. We want deploy previews, right? Like, we want this notion of like, if I try to propose a code change, I want to be able to see like a deploy of that code change in the full, like on its own URL. I want to be able to really test it and so on, right? Like, I want multiple developers to be able to work on different code changes at the same time, right? Like in different branches, right? Like, and our agent runner system is fully like built in that world of like multiple people working in parallel on different branches. Every branch gets its own preview. You can really see it and so on, right? Like, so now we start from agent runners when all of that branching logic no longer lives somewhere else, like GitHub, right? Like we actually had to build support for all of that. We had to build support for being smart about merging those branches and resolving conflicts and all of that, right? Like, so it might seem like just this little box, right? Like, but there's so much below it, right? Like, and the power of it is really, really phenomenal.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean, go on, please.
They're in piggybacking on what you were talking about, what Clark was saying, like the ability to do it from the phone. Like the idea, right, is to be able to get you as far along to this process to get you to the thing that you wanted, the thing that you were daydreaming about, the thing that you were excited about. Like that's what we want you to spend time on. And like even the act of saying, okay, I'm going to write a note and I'm going to do this when I get home. No, you just do it from your phone. Like in Netlify.new, a cat identification app or something, right? Like whatever it is. And this is what my daughter wanted me to make.
I was about to say, Sean Ars probably has that in his projects.
I'll send you the link. But it's all about just trying to capture that inspiration, because as soon as those things really linger, right, that motivation to try something new, this idea, and that's like, go back to the Ian thing, our CFO, right? He does these things because at one point in time, these are always things that he's wanted to do.
Yeah.
It was always just like, wouldn't it be cool if we could do X? Or man, imagine what if we did Y? And to that gap between the idea to shipping it was massive time, massive cost, and coordination. Even if it's a small thing, hey, we want to build a small app to do some analysis on some data. There's a lot of coordination to do that. And now he can just do it. He can have the rest of his team see what he did. He can contribute to that. And all while this stuff is running in the background, no one has to handhold it.
Yeah.
Like you can just try an idea and then come back and see it done. And it's, I know we're talking about it a lot, but like as soon as you try it and you feel it, and like that aha moment, that click happens, you're like, whoa, this is different than what we've done before. And you really start to imagine, okay, what are all the things I can try now?
Yeah.
That's the super exciting part.
And it's infectious, right? Like it takes from one project to the other. Like this one top of mind example was last week in one of our Slack channels. Mandy, who's our socials person, just dropped a CSV of social metrics for the last week. I was instantly dying to take that and put it into every CSV, every sheet is a dashboard in the making, right? Just dragged it, put it into start with AI flow, and then said, build me a dashboard. And I said, use Netlify AI Gateway for insights.
Right.
Did it in like 5 minutes. I was like, what? I think, and again, everybody across every function, right? I'm in community and marketing, but like you said, we just talked about CFO. Everybody, right? If once they get the taste of it and they understand like, oh, I can use Cloud Code and all these powerful agents on top, under the hood, and just simply build, it's going to explode.
I keep finding like aha moments in the asynchronous nature as well, which I think a lot of people are so used to like sitting at the laptop or their phone, giving the prompt and having it action. And so you're kind of in this like wait loop consistently. Like people always talk about like, I'm going to go walk my dog while this happens. Well, I was doing testing for the prompt templates feature, which I'm sure we'll talk about eventually. But one of the things that was really cool is I have like 14 of them, and I'm like trying to really massage the prompt in a way that I'm like happy with. The output looks great. It's more consistent. But I was able to I would go in and just I did all 14 prompts simultaneously. Crazy. And I'm getting like nice notification badges, and like it allowed me to like, I am already a strong multitasker because my brain is just absolutely insane and moves at 1,000,000 miles a minute. This really has helped me kind of start to scope those different pieces in individual chats, which I've really liked. And I really think is an empowerment of like this type of asynchronous nature of being able to think of ideas like that and not have to not have to have the full scope and just start it and get it moving, get something live. Like that has been like such a huge empowerment of the work that I do, you know, across all of the different types of things that we're working on.
Yeah, that couldn't agree more. And it's what do you call it? It's Carnival Day for all the ADHD folks, right? you can
AI was made for me. I'm sorry, y'all. Like it really was.
Okay, so Sean, I got a question for you. Speaking of, you know, obviously this latest, you know, product release, and can you break it down to us and everyone listening? In what ways do you think it's different or unique compared to a lot of our peers or other players in the market, right? Because we're on this AI, you know, coding, assisted coding tools or vibe coding tools. Like, what's the product differentiation?
I think, you know, so first of all, it's we're releasing this specific feature. This feature really closes an important gap for our customers. But if you zoom out just a little bit more and you're thinking about, okay, our customers, you know, some of the biggest companies in the world are trying to ship value to their customers, right? They're trying to learn fast, they're trying to ship, and this closes that gap really well. The thing that I think is really special about bringing more of these things into the Netlify experience, right, is that if you're using these features next to your production site or even on your production site, you're actually getting closer to production with these ideas, as opposed to using other tools that are separate from where you host your website and manage it. Because whenever you do those on those other tools, someone still has to take those ideas, productionize it, and then ship it. So I think that's a really important part. The other part is just the full access to the Netlify platform, right? I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years. We've been optimizing
10
this
years?
for a great experience. The primitives that you have access to, like, there's nothing you can't build. And, you know, I think all we're doing now is trying to find ways to optimize the flows for people who haven't been developers traditionally for the past decade. You know, that they want to dip their toes into creating things, and now they're able to do it in a place that their engineering team has fully blessed. Like, we host everything on production here. Yes, you can do it here. We got the governance. Everyone's good. You have your own area. And recently we also released the internal builder seat, right? Which, you know, allows teams to say, your internal builders, you can build internal tools and prototypes in your own area. All of these combined, right? Like that's the thing that really matters. This one feature adds to this very robust platform that we have, and is really just like allowing people to try new things, to do better storytelling, to ship things. And when they do experiments, they're actually getting it closer to production instead of just making a better linear ticket or better Figma. They're really getting close to shipping it.
I fully feel like too, like I see a lot of pushback in public of like, you know, giving opportunities to the non-developers to push production code is dangerous and this and that and the third. I think one of the coolest things that you just mentioned there too is that, like, okay, aside from the main product, like Netlify the product, right? Like, think about, and we have the community showcase stream, KP, where like for internal builders, they maybe weren't shipping production code to our app, but they were going and shipping production code to apps that they use themselves. Like, I think the biggest impressive one for me, obviously Hugh killed it, but the sales kind of where it took all of the information and built kind of a landing page to give to prospects
from like Gong recordings.
That, like, to me, that right there is like production code for a use case that like only that person has the capacity to really ideate. And like I couldn't go into their space and have the context to fulfill an output like, you know, they did. And now, like, we are empowering them with these primitives. Like, they may not know that they are utilizing these primitives, and they may not know the architecture of these primitives, but they are working with something that can help bring them toward the destination, instead of saying, wait and go and learn these primitives and then we'll ship later. It's like, I know the primitives. If you can explain it to me, me and you can get something done that's going to actually empower you. And I mean, like even people who were in the chat for that stream were like blown away by like the thinking that goes into building something like that. And like, you just don't get that without having like the deep context of what you need, the team, and how to utilize kind of the output of those things. And so like, to me, that's where this stuff really starts to blow up, is like just giving the tools to people like UKP, right? Like you came into coding within the last like year or so, right?
Yeah,
Of like getting into the vibe coding thing. And like, I see you all the time pushing and pushing and pushing, and like you'll build throwaways, you'll build things that you don't really need, but then you'll be like, wait, these two things that I was focused on, do we think they're useful, and how can we make them more useful? Like that is so cool to me as a developer. I think a lot of people are scared of that, but like as a developer, I now get to go, hey, here's a couple of ideas for that thing that you have, and ways that you can make it a little better. And then now you're learning, you're getting further in your own journey. And like, I don't know, that just really excites me. I think that's a cool thing about what we empower.
I think
it is the era.
If I can,
Yeah.
Yes, please.
yeah, if it can add something that ties it back to this like competitive differentiate, like where do we sit, right? Like
while you talk to that, can you also speak broadly about also our market positioning? Does this shift the market
totally? I mean,
positioning?
it's totally in that, right? Because I think it all ties back to like what we're trying to do, that I think is very ambitious and challenging, but also unique, is that like I think a lot of the tools out there are still bifurcating between a world where they see there's these vibe coders and there's tools for them, and there's these real developers and there's tools for them. And we're seeing a world where we're saying the definition of a developer is going to change, and it's going to be a broader spectrum of people that are like domain experts in development and people that are domain experts in the thing we're building, and they are going to collaborate with the same tooling. And that I think is a lot of what like really positions us and differentiates us, right? Like we've been building world-class developer tools for real world developers running like massive projects, right? Like to give you a sense of scale, we used to operate on, we had one client once push 5 petabyte of data through our network in 1 month, right? Like those are the kind of customers we're servicing on our infrastructure, right? Like this is real world production infrastructure for real world engineering teams. But we're imagining in a world where real kind of developers, right? Okay. Like where we see groups of people collaborate together on the same platform, that's a much more varied group, right? Like, and where some people are really strong because they have the domain knowledge and the understanding of what they're building from. And if they can just prompt their way, that's so much more productive and faster, and then having to first translate their knowledge through a product manager into a team of like engineers and product designers, and do like a whole like mini waterfall style cycle of here, right? Like the if they can just prompt something into being, right? Like that's much better. But then I think we also see in general that as you build real software, you also need people who are really specialized in like, how do we evolve software? Like, how do we understand the architecture? How do we guide these models to take the right like decisions there over time? And like, how do we build like structurally sound systems and so on, right? Like, and I think we believe that those teams will be able to work together on our platform with like, we're taking all of these builders really seriously. We're not thinking that some of them are like just like not real developers or something like that, and others are real developers. We're thinking like these are going to be the teams of the future, and we can build like one platform for them that goes all the way from like internally. We're seeing it all over, right? Like someone asked like of impactful software, right? Like our HR team has been like really early adopters, right? Like and are really building a lot of important software for us, and have replaced a lot of SaaS tools, right? Like, but you'll also see that they will like they will be able to build, for example, start the full prototype of a piece of software, and then they need some engineer to go in on our platform, work a bit with them to help them connect that to our actual like data source for that tool in a way that's like secure and well architected and so on. And then once that's done, they can go like iterate and build and don't need any help, right? Like, and I keep seeing these things being like really common, right? Like collaborations across.
I love the positive sum mindset there, Matt. I think it's key to, because both of these people, the internal builders personas and the actual traditional developers in the future, right, are going to coexist and they're going to collaborate. And I think I love the mindset there about not trying to pick a side and building platform the tooling that really empowers both sides.
And the same goes from like the agents, right? Like we haven't built sort of our own vibe coding agent or something, right? Like these are the same agents that like Sean uses when he's like building infrastructure or whatever, right? Like it's Claude Code, it's Codex CLI, it's Gemini CLI. It's just exposed in a way where the whole team can use them. Sorry, Sean.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like the it's not a future thing, it's now. Like I mean, it is the present for teams who are actually taking on these tools and embracing them. And what we've really seen in the last few years is everyone trying all these different types of things, and we have a lot of I call it the mini one-person band problem. So like I have my 10 tools that I kind of bring all together, and I do this well, and then Dom has his, and KP yours, and Matt his, and that's not a great collaborative experience, right? We kind of have the same thing where it's like everyone has this feeling where it's like, okay, here's the thing that we're about to do, here's a Figma link, and it's like this gated thing. Like I can't touch the thing, I can't, if I want to suggest it, I got to go ask someone else to do it, and they bless it, and then they can do it. But at the same time, there's this world where like maybe I'm not the best person for that job. So we've built all these specialized tools for doing all these isolated parts of the workflow. But like now we're starting to see this world where the end goal is to ship something of value.
Yep.
Can that platform that helps you ship and host that value, can it help you bring the rest of your team together, right? When we were doing several of these launches, we had our technical writers, we had people not on the engineering team all collaborating on these features with me and the rest of the team as we were building them. Like, and the things that they would not have done before, or things that they would have offloaded to a ticket, and done later. Even today on launch day, right? It's like there's a lot of, oh snap, we should go do this thing real quick, and oh, we should go do this. And there was obviously the engineers raising their hand to go pick something off, but it's also people who are not on the engineering team at all saying, hey, I'll go handle this. That's like, in what world were you ever going to be able to do that before? Like that was never something that we enabled as an engineering industry for the rest of the team. We've always wanted it, and we've always also sequestered that to a CMS or something else that really gated the opportunity for everybody. And now that's all blown open. That door is well gone.
I also, just to add to that, I also want to share this with the rest of the world who's watching it. As being inside of Netlify, one of my favorite parts is the fact that we don't pitch ideas through a deck. No. All of us pitch ideas through an agent run. Everyone's got a deploy preview, and like everyone's got some version of like, hey, here's how we're trying to like talk about. And I love it. I think it's like no one's gonna spend 30-40 hours trying to like get the the decks and
I was explaining that to my fiance. She works at Home Depot, so like they have like their processes of like how they do things, and I was like, yeah, like I was trying to get this idea across to the team, and like typically you got to have like a call, and then like I have to articulate my vision, and then everyone's like, okay, well, like that's cool, but like I don't even understand what you're trying to do. Instead of that, I just got everybody on a call and was like, here's an app. Right. This is what I want it to look like. Here's how we start with it. And like it changed, and it went through iterations, and it had feedback, and like the exact loop that you would go through still happened. But now it's like I don't have to spend any time building these like Notion pages and like trying to get everything in my brain identically out into Word to you. I'll just do it to the agent, and that's going to help me be able to like kind of really conceptualize these ideas. And like in DevRel and like this type of space, you do that a lot. Like a lot of you're the IC, the PM, like you have to find these like really good ideas to bring to people. And I think for our space specifically, like this is such a huge boon to being able to start to have real things come to life and not just like, you know, small apps that have an idea, or like, it's like you can really build these full featured like experiences. And like, that's fun.
I don't, can't be overstated the amount of storytelling that like that's our job, right? And you know, picture says 1,000 words, you know, but a prototype says 1,000,000. And if that prototype gets you one review away from production, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's like the world is different.
We can't go back to the other, like the previous version of the world. Like, you know, it's just impossible to visualize that now anymore, you know? Anyway, so I got a couple more questions before we go to audience Q&A. I'm going to hit you up with 2 back-to-back, Sean. Ready? So let's talk about the most surprising product or engineering hurdle the team had to overcome while building this one out.
I think the really interesting thing is we are orchestrating agents, right? We don't have our own agent that we use other people's models. We are using Claude code within our container environment that we set up as an ideal environment for these agents. We run Claude code just as you would. We run Gemini CLI just as you would, Codex CLI just as you would. And trying to normalize how all of these agents work and then provide a good experience, because these tools are very technical tools. They're meant for you to pull your own repo down, for you to so pull the code down, run a CLI, do the thing, then push that up. And our job here was to make it extremely easy. That, you know, you just ask it and it will do it. It will let you create a PR. It'll create all the changes for you. But orchestrating multiple agents that can do the same thing and have the same great experience, and trying to normalize that difference between all of them, because they are definitely not all the same. That was a pretty big challenge for the team, and they did such a wonderful job.
That's awesome. Now that the secret is out, now that the product is the release is out, everyone's tinkering with it. We've seen a couple YouTube videos and posts and all that. What is the next big thing on your milestone? I'm sure on your roadmap, I'm sure there's a bunch of ideas that are obviously coming up to the surface. But if you have to kind of tease the audience with 1 or 2, what's coming?
I think the biggest things on my mind that I'm most excited about, right, is trying to find ways to let people build with Netlify and not have to go somewhere else to bring in other tools and things like that, right? Like, we are already an extremely composable platform, so you can use us and then pull in this provider and that provider for this capability and all these other things, and that never goes away. It's still fundamentally a composable web platform, but trying to let people build and be effective as fast as possible means trying to remove as many friction points as possible. On the same vein, I'm also really excited to bring forward the things that we want to enable the rest of the team to have value, right? Like, how can we help bring value to the rest of your team, not just with people building with agents, but with just other ways? Like, how can we get the full team in here, bring the whole band together, type of thing? Like, I know it's not super specific, but like, that
was very specific. I got 5 product names from there,
right? From 0 to 1, right? Like, that's a super important aspiration of ours. And then also being able to be extremely valuable for not just the developers, but the designers, the PMs, the head of finance, like everyone who has a stake in the success of your website, or anyone who wants to tell a story within your organization, and they can do that through the web. We have something to offer them, and we want to make it a great experience.
Making a note, we need to find a good band name for the rest of our company.
AXDX.
AXDX. Wow. Wait, oh my gosh, what? We walked into it.
Yeah.
I think
This
Sean was
wasn't
ready with it.
rehearsed. This wasn't rehearsed, I swear.
I feel like Sean, do you have merch already? Like, I feel so, he was so ready.
I have some slides with that on it for sure.
That's what it is. Oh my gosh. Matt, okay, I got one more question for you, and we can go to some audience Q&A. Well, this last few weeks, and maybe because the last couple months, has been amazing. Being inside, I could sort of attest to it, witnessing sort of the journey of Swar, journey of starting with AI, coming to life. Like overall, though, beyond just me and my opinion, my feelings, how as someone who's obviously in all possible functions, all possible meetings, or has lens into all these areas.
It's always surprising when you don't tell Matt about something and you still see him pop up in like little Notion thing. He has seen it.
He's seen it. He's the all-encompassing. Matt's always listening, watching.
A literal superhero.
Yeah. So Matt, how is the overall internal energy been? How is the team feeling overall about this feature and this capabilities and the series of things that are coming out this week, this year?
I mean, I think everybody has been incredibly exciting working towards this point, and also because it's like a starting point for really big vision of what Netlify can be in this new world, right? Like, it's a time where Netlify was really revolutionary in thinking about like integrating like the infrastructure layer with the workflow layer back in the day when we launched, right? Like, and back in that day, the whole workflow layer was centered around this world of developers working in Git and working through that workflow, right? Like, and it turns out that a lot of like the infrastructure opinion and layers we built for all of that was really great for a world of agents building stuff, right? Like, it's like opinionated, it's like zero management, it's clear boundaries for the different layers and abstractions and primitives and so on. Agents are great at building on it, right? Like, but I think this marks sort of a next step in tailoring our whole workflow layer also to a world where the center of that workflow is maybe no longer like people working from the laptop and pushing up to Git. It's more and more these agents. And right now, a very like a lot of mixture between very synchronous agents that people are constantly in front of, and then these like very asynchronous agents that go off and do stuff, collaborating to build things, right? Like, and this is really like our full foray into reimagining what Netlify looks like in a world where the whole workflow layer shifts, right? Like, and where we're going to see more and more of these asynchronous agents doing work on our platform, right? Like, right now, kicking off new projects, being the partner and iterating on them and driving them and so on, right? Like, while you still have people working locally and pushing and so on, like everything connects, right? Like, but we'll also start being able to do even more orchestration, right? Like, we'll be able to build even tighter feedback loops. We'll be able to bring together more of sort of like the full stack of batteries included features we need to for people to build the apps and agents they want to build on Netlify. I think this has been a really exciting step that just like opens up for that world of possibilities, and my sense is that the whole team has been really energized around it.
Oh yeah.
And then it just helps seeing like the impact it's having, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, we launched it this morning, and there's I think over 3,000 different people have already been building with it, and so that's really cool to see. A lot of great feedback. We're already seeing people are shipping things, and that's an amazing thing to see. And to Matt's point, like this Agent Runners itself are features, but more than features, they are foundations for what we're doing. And I'm really excited about what we've done here, but like I'm so excited to see our vision really materialize into a full end-to-end workflow, that because we're really able to reimagine what building looks like, what collaboration looks like, what all of this looks like. It's not just a hey, we have some new ideas on it, but the fundamental technology and how we can talk to things and get outputs and all this is all the whole paradigm has changed, and therefore we can go back and look at everything and say can this be better? What are we trying to do? Can we make it amazing? And not just stick with the status quo that we've had for the past 20 years.
It's a whole new opportunity, right?
It's also cool because we've like pushed past dog fooding internally, and now it's like when we get feedback from the internal folks who are trying out these new things as they come, it's like speaking to users. It's like we get a really early taste of
which is,
what
I
it is
think,
going
our
to be
biggest
like.
advantage. I feel like maybe some of the companies may or may not have. I think we have this amazing builder culture.
Yeah, people
which
are
is
less
encouraged,
afraid to like just start doing stuff,
which is
I
very
think.
much anchored. And I appreciate that from both Sean, you, and Matt, and all of all of our SLT and all of our functional leaders. I love the fact that we encourage each other, especially the technical folks, to go build something, show your idea in a prototype form, and talk through that, right? And I think that's the most energizing and encouraging thing that I feel about Netlify, because even the way SWAR came to life, there's so many micro decisions that I think collectively as a team we took, and sometimes I don't know if it came from engineer or if it came from like Jessica or came from right? It came from whoever, right? Michelle.
It was so clear to us at a certain point, everyone was just like, "Wait a minute, why aren't we helping people?" I think
how do I get started with agent runners?
It was just like, y'all ran plenty of hackathons, okay?
Yeah.
The first, like the setup, right? Like that to get people started on their idea is always the hardest part,
Yes.
and it's not unique to us. But people then go and deploy and share their ideas on us. But it's a great use case in thinking about the community at large, right? What's the first problem that they have, and if they have to do something quickly because maybe it's a small bet, maybe it's just an experiment, are they going to spend 6 hours getting a template going and installing dependencies and figuring out how to use this stuff?
Yeah.
Or can we get them iterating on their actual valuable idea in less than a minute? No, that's huge.
That's it.
Yeah, that's huge.
So Matt can build more Sudoku games, right? All right.
My daughter can build some cat games.
Right, there we go. Cat identifiers. And all right, so we'll switch gears to doing some audience Q&A. I've seen a couple folks here from AI Shippers who I know will have a question or two for us because they are an engaging group. Who has a question here for the crew? Let's see. I know Connor had a question last night. I see one already, a question, so I'm going to just put it up there from Chris. How do agents change the new application lifecycle? Does the agent become the architect providing longer term continuity?
This one, I have a strong take on this.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Especially when you look at, there's people saying, oh, the AI tools are not necessarily a total net positive and things like that, and AI slop and all this other stuff. I think the reality is we as traditional developers have always went through this process of thinking through the problem, writing the code. There's implicit architectural decisions that get baked in there, and then we ship that. But I think that there is some level of complacency that we end up running into where it's just like, okay, code shipped, everything else might have already been thought through. We're good to go. And all that to say is like there's a handful of this application lifecycle, considering that architecture, considering the downstream impacts, costs, whatever it might be. That job didn't go away. And you can steer these agents to really work, and consider those things like, hey, do this in a way that's going to reduce my costs or save on performance here, whatever you want to do. But ultimately, the way I like to think about it is we used to be like the actors in the movie, right? And now we're the directors. Right? Mm-hmm. And we can let the actors do whatever they want, or the agents do whatever they want, and they'll do stuff, and we'll be able to, film it or whatever. But if we're really trying to shape a narrative here and really trying to land on a point, then we have to drive that. We have to go back and try a different way, because that's not going to end up in the right path. And so it fundamentally changes the application lifecycle and like how you build. In that now you have this never tired collaborative partner and something that your whole team can work with, and that workflow changes, but the agent does not become the architect. It does not own those final output decisions. That's your, it's your choice to publish, your choice to accept things. And
plus
and
it tells me I'm absolutely right. So like obviously it's
I know,
like obviously what I
right.
want to hear.
But
Yeah.
did you ever say you are absolutely right, agent? That's the question.
I try to talk nicely to my agents because you never know where it does end up. I want them to remember that I was down for them as well.
100 years from now. But Sean, I think actually, to be honest, though, there is a blog post in brewing there from your point. I really think it's such a strong and novel take, because you're touching on a couple of things where agents, yes, agents become actors, so we become directors. I think that point itself is interesting, but also the fact that agents will not be the architects, and here's why.
Yeah,
I think is also definitely interesting. Please make a tweet or a blog post on it for sure. I'm gonna go to
I'll
the
be
next
reaching out shortly, Sean Roberts.
Yeah, get your people in touch with my people.
Like, just spin up a Cloud Code agent. No, okay. So next question is from Connor. When do you think is the best time to use SWAR? I guess start with Netlify. Is it for websites, web apps, everything? When do you use this versus directly the agents like Cloud Code and Lava Boom both?
First thing is that, like, obviously we have web oriented platform, right? Like, so you probably wouldn't start using this to build like a desktop app. We are obviously centered around the web, and are big fans of the open web, and things like if we can help the open web keep being the place we build everything on, that's our preference, right? Like, but on the web you can build essentially everything, right? Like, and we're gonna keep making Netlify better in that sense of like having all the batteries included to build the things you want, right? Like, internally, what we built on Netlify, I mean, Netlify itself is built with Netlify, and we build a lot of Netlify's core application with agent runners today, right? Like, we have constant agent runs going. We have integrated into Linear. You can just like a ticket come in, we can kick off an agent run against our production app. People work on our main website through agent runners. It's kind of like replaced our CMS for anything like custom pages, anything like that. It's just so much faster to prompt an agent runner to go build it and iterate on it. But we are also using agent runners, like, and start from agent runners to build projects like our main go-to-market agent that helps like the whole sales organization understand the flow of prospect. Like, again, we have like a big typical PLG motion there, right? Like, we celebrated 10 million developers back in January, right? Like, and now we are few weeks away from
12,
maybe a week away from 12 million developers, right? Like, so it's just like massive numbers, right? Like, and some of those are people that would be really well served by talking to our actual sales team about like what they can do with like a full engagement with us and so on, right? Like, we built this whole agent that can help sort of look at what are they doing on their account, who are they as a company, what is working, and like should like, is there a reason we should like try to talk to them? That whole agent, which is based on like Claude's agent SDK and so on, runs on Netlify, and it's built completely with agent runners, right? Like, so no manual code at all in that project, right? Like, and it's a really central project to us. So again, the answer is like, because agent runners are piggybacking on the strongest coding agents right now, right? Like, right now it's sort of very much a race between Claude Code and Codex CLI, right? Like, and for some tasks, one are better and some are better, right? Like, agent runners, you can just choose which of those and kick it off. Like, because of that, there's not sort of any, like, anything an coding agent can do for you, agent runners can do for you, right? Like, and then because we're like a production quality web platform that's been running like some of the largest web projects out there for a decade now, right? Like, there's a very high ceiling on what you can build. but there's still a lot we can do to make the friction lower for building full stack apps and agents through this, right? Like, at the same time, I think what's also unique is that we are not trying to lock you into a box, right? Like, I think you don't think about going to a Lovable or Replit and be like, oh, I'm sort of using Lovable for some things, but then I'm just switching to Claude Code, and then I'm deploying from like Replit to Lovable, right? Like, it's all like, okay, you're in this black box, right? Like, where we very much see it as sort of a reality that our users are gonna use a lot of different ways to work on their code when being on Netlify, and no matter how they do that, they can push it to us, right? Like, whether they're hooked up to Git, or whether you're using our CLI tool to instrument, or whether they're using agent runners within Netlify, right? Like, there's not sort of that sense of like being a black box.
Yeah. Actually, I want Sean, if you don't mind, can you double click on this with the lens of, I think, especially in the vibe coding world, right? I've only recently realized that the bolts and Lovables and so on of the world are essentially saying, we are your developer. We're like, come to us and we will do it for you, DIY, right? I mean, sorry, do it for you, or DFI, I guess. However, a lot of what I find myself doing is I want optionality, which I didn't want initially. Now, as sort of a professional web coder, I want optionality. I want to play with Cloud Code and then this and then that. So there's a sense of this lock-in that I don't want to feel. I want you to address that and talk about how, when should vibe coders go to one of these tools versus when should they go to agent runners?
Yeah, it's something that we, especially when we first created agent runners and now providing this initial experience, spent a lot of time thinking about, right? And the way we see the world is, again, we are a composable platform. If you want to bring your code from, regardless of how it's written, right, bring it to us, we'll host it, we'll make sure you're successful in launching and all these other things. So that's been our ethos since day one, right? And we've also emphasized a lot of effort on building a great agent experience. So whether or not it's, using ChatGPT to work with Netlify, whether it's using Bolt to work with Netlify, whether it's any of these, we are excited for people to build on the web, regardless of where they're building it, right?
And that won't change, and
that doesn't change, right? This is not a don't use these other tools type of moment. This is a, hey, you have a new starting point, and there's some unique points in time in which this might be the best way for you to go. And to kind of double click on that, these use cases, right? I think about it. If you look at these different tools in the market, right? As Matt was saying, a lot of the more friendly, easier ones to use have a low ceiling for the things that they can handle. For example, we couldn't put our marketing sites on any of these. It's just too complex, even though it's not a complex app, it's just big. At the same time, using Claude Code and these CLIs directly is really only for technical users, right? So, and to answer the other question that came up, how do we pick the agents to kind of bring into agent runners, right? Well, it's like, how can we give the best experience, a very accessible experience for anyone to use, right? But using the most capable agent, right? The ones who can do anything that you want, any project. And then when you combine ease of use, best agents, plus an exceptional web platform, you can just do anything, right? And then it comes down to a matter of your flavor of workflow that you want to do, right? And so when it comes to developers, right, like the biggest thing that I get value out of as a developer using these tools is automating my backlog, right? Like, asking my other, partners in crime to take a stab at doing something themselves now that they have a tool to do that, right? Before I couldn't ask my PM to go try this out because they couldn't, right? Or it would take much longer, and now they just can. So now they're able to burn down the backlog. I'm able to send my backlog for things that aren't high priority for my, architecture desire to have my hands on the keyboard. And there's also, every time I push something, There's also now I got to do a docs PR, now I got to push something for marketing, and so on and so forth. And so it's like, just like, you know what to do, go do it, right? Like, there's a lot of things I can just delegate away. And that's, as a developer, I love that. And when it comes to the non-traditional developers, the ones who aren't feel comfortable pulling down technical CLIs, pulling down repos, do they even have access to GitHub? For all that audience, right, it's a 0 to 1, right? Like, and you're able to use the best tools in an ideal environment, right? Like, when you're running this on Netlify, it's got everything it needs to be successful on Netlify. You're using Netlify because it's able to do that, or because your team has already blessed it as this is our preferred hosting platform. And now you're working within your team. And to what Dom was saying earlier, now anyone can go and contribute, right? If Dom spun something up on any one of these random, coding agent tools, that's great. And I'm sure it's great storytelling, but like, only Dom's going to be able to really work on it unless I have to go and then put in the effort to figure that out. And so for them, right, prototypes, internal tools, contributing to real world production sites, be it experiments, trying something out, everything you do within the same infrastructure that your production apps are on gets you one step closer to actually production, right? Because if you think about the workflow, has always been, I'm a developer, I go take the ticket, code it up, send it over to another developer, they review it, we ship it. Right. Now, anybody on this team can go use an agent runner, take a ticket, even from Linear, click a button, and it will just do the work. They can review it on their own deployed environment. When they feel it's good, they create a PR, and now a developer can do it. So anyone on our team takes a task the same distance as a developer has traditionally done.
Which is nuts.
And that's incredible.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, yeah, this has been such a great conversation. We could go another hour easily, but I wanna pause here and just thank all of you for joining, and all of our audience members here for joining and making this such a fun conversation. Clearly, as y'all can feel it, we are so stoked about this launch and whatever's coming this year. Matt just hinted a little bit on batteries included, so stay tuned on what that means, in the next few months. But thanks again, Matt. Thank you, Sean, for joining, and Dom. Once again, thanks again.
I'm back.
And shout out to the team that did all this work. I really wanted to come on here to publicly, give an amazing credit to the team, from the engineers to the marketing team to the support, security, everyone, really helped make this.
And the CEO, don't forget really about the CEO. That dude was
he was involved. I mean,
also
he
the
just
CEO,
I like to give him a couple of pats on the back too. I don't know if he gets it enough.
Can we also just one little thing before we wrap it? Sorry, Matt, for the longest time, when I joined, I think I onboarded during November. I remember during holiday season, Matt was shopping this feature, Start with AR, around by building his own version of this on Agent Runners, and it was bringing it to every meeting. Every meeting he would start with like,
I saw at least 6 demos.
Yeah, I was like,
so the first version of the feature really started as like a set of 10 stack templates that I could deploy to Netlify and then start an initial agent run on top of those, and then I built with an agent runner on top of that in our app, like a prototype that allowed you to start from one of those templates with an agent run. That was like sort of the first POC and entirely built with agent runners. So just again, a power of like our React app is like a 10-year-old, like really big sprawling code base, production. And the fact that I could just go in there and prompt directly from a web UI, Cloud Code, like, hey, go create this onboarding flow with a prompt box and these templates. And it just worked. And I now got like a link that I could share, like running our app with that feature. That really helped us like center and like also discovering all the things that like, hey, when you do that and Netlify suddenly it's not connected to Git, but we still have branches and all of these things. Like we learned sort of all of the things we had to really build out to make this a production ready feature that would be really great for teams, right? Like, and I think that's another just like huge power of agent runners, right? Like you can literally jump into any of your existing repositories. You can just like prompt them to go build a prototype. You get a unique non-production link, gated with access control and everything that can really help thinking through how should this feature actually work and look like.
And this, yeah, that was my favorite, one of my favorite early memories of joining. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Anyway, so for folks, my last CTA is go check out netlify.new, play with it, share your builds with us, tag us on socials. We'll amplify and would love to check out what you're building. All right, thanks everyone, and it's a wrap.
Thank you.